I have a vision of gardens growing everywhere, of abundant food shared by neighbors, of people connected to their food, the earth, themselves, each other, and the rhythms of nature. I see humans thriving on a healthy planet full of life and beauty. How can this happen? Bill Mollison, founder of permaculture, said, though the problems of the world grow increasingly complex, the solutions remain embarrassingly simple. We just have to return our feet and our hands to the earth, which we have become separated from, and become producers instead of just consumers. After years of gardening, farming, traveling, and studying permaculture, my partner and I bought this rundown duplex in 2007 in Anchorage. I saw the brokenness of our industrial food system, how it degraded the earth and made us sick. I knew in my heart it could be different, and I set out to prove it. We turned it into this, an abundant permaculture garden, bursting with food, medicine, and beauty. We had chickens, 7 types of berries, 5 kinds of fruit trees, mushrooms, bees. We were immersed in life and beauty. All the kids in the neighborhood were attracted to our house, and adults drove by regularly to check it out. In 2011, we did the Alaska Food Challenge, eating only Alaskan food for a year, growing over 1,600 pounds of food valued at over $6,000. And those were in 2012 prices. There was still plenty of room to grow more. We supplemented with local meat and grains and wild harvested salmon, berries, and mushrooms. My first son was born during the food challenge, and my midwife was very concerned about me not getting the food I needed until I showed her what I was eating. She said it was the healthiest diet of any of her clients. His first foods were egg yolks from our chickens and pureed veggies from the garden. 2 years later, his brother joined us, and I attribute their good health not only to the nutrient-dense food from the garden, but also the microbes ingested as they explored nature on their own level. I taught gardening in the evenings and weekends so I could spend my days in the garden with my boys. It was better than any playground. In 2019, I found myself living in Homer, navigating the death of my father, a marriage imploding from the insanity of alcoholism, and resurrecting my garden teaching business so I could support myself and the boys. My garden was not only a source of nourishment, it was my solace and my savior. Whenever the stress and chaos became too much, I would slip out to the garden to be supported and nurtured by it. Believe me, pulling weeds is a great stress reliever. And the raspberries, sweet and warm from the sun, reminded me of the sweetness of life. As I filled bowl after bowl, I knew that we would at least have good food to eat. When COVID came, I didn't need to stock up on anything because my larders were already full and spring was on its way, bringing another season of bounty. It was a way of life for us, one that followed the seasonal cycles and didn't depend on supply chains or food prices. In fact, our life changed very little as we were already homeschooling, or life schooling as I like to call it, learning through being actively engaged with life. The boys help me grow the food, preserve it, and cook meals from scratch. They are engaged in my business and have their own business selling wild crafted products. They are responsible for taking care of the ducks and chickens. We work together as a team, and there is no separation between learning and life. Everything is connected. The boys thrive in this active learning environment without manufactured lessons or curriculums. And for me, it's more of a process of unlearning. Unlearning the story of separation that keeps us disconnected from nature, ourselves, and each other, because we are nature. I can see this so clearly in my wild boys that I wonder how we ever forgot. When we co-create with nature in the garden, we rebuild our relationship with the earth. Gardening develops our ability to listen deeply to the earth. We see when our actions support life and when they diminish it. Our physical actions embed the knowledge of interbeing deep in our body. We don't just know we are connected with all of life around us, we feel it. It's not enough just to observe nature, to learn about it in a book or on a screen. We must interact with nature. This changes everything. We feel the deep, innate connection to everything around us. We derive our security from our belonging here on this land and our relationships with each other and everything around us, instead of money in the bank account. We are no longer takers trying to minimize our impact on the earth. We are givers, building soil, increasing diversity, beauty, and life. Nature, in return, bestows us with many gifts. This is reciprocity. It feels so good and right to be a giver. This is what secures our place in the web of life. I'm honored to work with students all over the world to help them learn to garden in this way. Rachel and Ted live in suburban Cleveland and have turned their front yard garden into a paradise, pumping out food. Their teenage son loves to help with the tomatoes. Their neighbors are delighted by their gardens, and some have been inspired to start their own. Olivia turned her Anchorage lawn into gorgeous, diverse perennial gardens. She plants edible flowers and berries near the street for the neighborhood kids and shows them how to eat them. She suffers from chronic pain and depression, but says her garden is her lifeline. Lindsay here in Homer took everything I taught her and transformed the way she gardens, the way she feeds her kids, and the way she sees life. They eat from their garden year-round, enjoying fermented foods and other preserves in the winter. She is now working on building her dream garden she designed in my course at her new house. Gardening allows us to heal our connection and remember our place in the web of interbeing. Imagine what your life would look and feel like if you could create beauty and abundance where you live. What if your neighbors did this too? What if we all lived as if we knew we were one with nature and with each other? What if?